So to start today's lesson, we have some addition problems for you to complete. The first thing I want you to do is go ahead and add the problems together. And then the second thing I want you to do is think about how you could write it as multiplication. Okay? And see if you recognize any connections between the original problems, the multiplication problems, and your answers. So pause the video, go ahead and solve this on your own, and then come back and finish watching. You'll notice that for number 1, 9 plus 9 is the same as 9 times 2, which equals 18. Number 2 equaled a negative 14. Number 3 was negative 9. Number 4 was positive 15. Number 5 was 24. And number 6 was negative 16. Notice that if we had a negative number when we were multiplying or adding them together, our answer was negative. So when we added two negative 7s, it became negative 7 times negative 2, which was negative 14. Same with these negative 4s. We had a negative 4 times positive 4, and our answer was a negative. And that's actually what we're going to be working with today. If you take a positive times a positive, our answer is positive, like number 1. And then if we have a negative times a positive, then we would get a negative answer. And I also want you to know if you have a negative times a negative, in that case, your answer is going to be a positive as well. And that actually goes right along with our key idea for today. When we multiply integers with the same sign, okay, so if you have two positive numbers or two negative numbers, your answer will be positive. If your integers have different signs, so a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive, your answer will be a negative. Make sure you remember this. It's very, very, very important. So put a big star, circle it, annotate it, do something so you remember to come back here and check if you're stuck on a problem. And here's our first problem. We have a negative 5 times negative 6. So they have the same sign, okay? And when we have the same sign, your answer is a positive value. So we're going to multiply our numbers just like always. 5 times 6 is 30. And because they're both negatives, it's a positive 30. And that's it. Here are two more examples. We always just start by multiplying the numbers. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 positive, 1 negative. Different signs, answers a negative. Part B, 7 times 4 is 28. One's a negative, one's a positive. Different signs, our answer's a negative, so it's a negative 28. Go ahead and do these on your own. Pause the video, then come back and check your answers. So if we go ahead and look at my answers, number 1 is positive 25 because they were both positive. Number 2 is a positive 44 as well. Number 3, because both numbers were negative, has a positive answer. 1 times 9 is a positive 9. Number 4 is also positive, and it's 56. Number 5, because they have different signs, we have a positive and a negative, then our answer is negative, and it's negative 24. Number 6 was also a negative 24. And number 7 was 2 steps. Always just look at 2 problems at a time. It got 60 times 0, which is 0. And then number 8 was the same. 2 numbers at a time gave us 35. And then we multiplied by negative 4, and we got a negative 140 for our final answer. Now that we understand multiplying integers, let's move on to dividing integers. It's actually the same rules, which is kind of nice. if you're dividing with the same sign, so two positives or two negatives, just like when we multiply, our answer is going to be a positive. If you're dividing with different signs, so a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive, just like multiplying, our answer is going to be negative. Now here's what's super important on top. Division by 0 is undefined. So 0 divided by 4 equals 0. But 4 divided by 0 is undefined. It does not exist, okay? Make sure you understand the difference between when 0 divided by 4 equals 0, 4 divided by 0 does not exist. So keep this in mind as you move forward. But the nice thing is dividing was just like multiplying. It's the same thought process. First, divide the numbers. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Because they're both negatives, our answer is positive 3. Same with these next two problems. 75 divided by 25 is 3. One's a positive, one's a negative, which means my answer is negative. 54 divided by 6 is 9. Because one's a negative, one's a positive, my answer is negative. Go ahead and try these 6 on your own. Please pause the video, complete the problems, and then come back and check your answer. So for number 1, 14 divided by 2 is 7. Number 2, a negative 32 divided by negative 4 is positive 8. Number 3, negative 40 divided by negative 8 is positive 5. Number 4 is 0 divided by negative 6, which equals 0. Number 5, negative 49 divided by 7 is negative 7. And number 6, 21 divided by negative 3 is also a negative 7.